Now we are at the lecture number 9. So in this lecture we are at divisibility test, and again we will talk about the divisibility test of the different numbers. But in this chapter we will focus on what we have done so far from chapter 1.1 to 1.4. We will review all the divisibility test rules that already we have discussed. We will revise that again here. So so to the table of 2, divide all those numbers whose last digit is even. For even we have discussed the even numbers are 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and any number containing the last digit from these 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 will be divisible by the 2. That thing you have to remember by yourself. For the divisibility of test of digit 3, you have to remember that all the digit will add to a multiple of the 3. For example, if there is a number that consists of the three digits that are 135. 135 is the number, and I am writing this number here. The number is 135. So here when you will add all these number, the answer will be 9, and 9 is a multiple of 3, so it means you can divide this number by a table of 3. Any number, when you will add all the digits of that number together, and if you find that the sum that you have find out by adding all the digits is a multiple of 3, then it is divisible by the 3, otherwise it is not divisible by the 3. So here I have given you the example of the 135. If we add all this number and if it is multiple of the 3, then it is easily divisible by the table of 3. So this was the rule of the divisibility test for 3. Now the divisibility test of the 4. The number made by the last two digits can be divided by the 4. Here for divisibility test of the 4, we have discussed that if last two digits are divisible by the 4, that we can say that number is divisible by the 4. Otherwise it is not divisible by the 4. And for the divisibility of the 5, we have learned that any number containing the last digit 5 or 0 is divisible by the 5. Okay, now there is a divisibility test of the digit 6. For the divisibility of the table 6, you have to first check the divisibility rule for 2 and 3. If a number that can be divisible by the 2 or that can be divisible by the 3, so you can say that the that number is divisible by the 6. And for the divisibility of the 8, you have to check that the number whose last three digits should be divisible by the 3 should be divisible by the 8. So it means that that complete number is divisible by the 8. For example, there is a number 4888. So in 4888, the last three digits are 888, and all three digits are divisible by the 8. So it means that you can say that the 4888 is divisible by the 8, because for the divisibility test of the 8, you have to check the divisibility by dividing last three digits by 8. So in this way you will check the divisibility for table of 6 and table of 8. Now we are moving towards 9, and the divisibility rule for 9 is the number that you will be given, and you will see that the sum of the digits will be 9, or it is multiple of a 9. In that case it is divisible by the 9. For example, here number is 136. Here you can see when you will add all these digits, the answer will be 6 plus 3 plus 6 plus 3 is 9, 9 plus 1 is 10. The answer will be equal to 10, and 10 is not a multiple of a 9. So 136 is not divisible by the 6. Now we are trying with 135. Now the question is 135 is 135 135 is divisible by 9? Yes or not? For this purpose, we will add all the digits of the 135. So we will get 9. So 9 is also a multiple of the 9. 9 times 1 is 9. So here we have learned that if the sum of the numbers will be 9 or a multiple of 9, then in that case it is divisible by the 9. So here we can say that 135 is divisible by the 9. And now the divisibility rule for 10 is the last digit should be 0. In that case only that number will be divisible by the 10. For example, is there any number but whose last digit should be 0 in order to be divided by 10? So the divisibility rule for the 10 is very easy. Now there is no easy test for 7, as we have learned the divisibility rule for all tables from 1 to 10. We have seen that the divisibility rule for all tables, but we did not see the divisibility rule for the 7 because there is no easy test for 7, although some methods have been invented. However, it is easier to simplify to the regular division, as we know that there are some rules for all numbers to check the divisibility test. Even you know that 1 is a number that can divide all the numbers. 1 is the number that can divide all the numbers, but we did not know the divisibility test rule for 7. Although some methods are invented, but that are not easier. So easier one is to do the regular division for finding the divisibility of 7. So with this lecture we have completed the divisibility test. Inshallah, now we will continue our lesson from geometry. So for okay, now I am giving you the assignment. In this assignment you will apply the divisibility rule to check the whether which numbers can divide these numbers or which numbers will not divide these numbers. So you have to apply the divisibility rule for all the digits that we have learned from 2 to table 10. So you will tell which numbers can divide these numbers, which numbers cannot divide these numbers. Now good luck for your assignment and see you next time. Allah Hafiz, take care.